Welcome back to More Moss to the People. I am Asa Nilsson and I am your host. Today I have my dear friend Therese Eriksson on with me. And man, I am so lucky because she happens to be back in Sweden at the moment, which is, I think, a little bit of a gift because I got to work with you yesterday. My husband and I got to work with you yesterday, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I'm really happy to see you. And your life, your life has taken a pretty big whoop pivot. And we're going to talk about all of it. So välkommen, welcome Therese to More Moss to the People. And please, I'm going to give the mic over to you. Tell us, who are you today in this world?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so happy to see you. Also, I'm so blessed to be back here. It was a fast decision to go here, so I'm very happy that everything went well. So my name is Therese Eriksson. I am a Swedish videographer, and yeah, as you said, a year ago I pivoted, and I just like in a week turned my whole life upside down, like literally turned it like upside down. Me and my then husband had just moved into a new house and everything was like looking so well on the outside, but then I just felt miserable. So in a week, I just like I will like, okay, it's not working. I need to leave this relationship. I need to leave Sweden. So I left and I took my cat and moved into our van that I now live full time in. And I drove to Spain and I have been living in Spain in my van, traveling around ever since, yeah, April 2023. And yeah, I've had the most amazing time and I've grown so much. And yeah, so there I am now. And I just took like a super fast decision to go up to Sweden for the summer because I really love Sweden during summer. So I just felt like, yeah, let's go back to Sweden. I want to have my summer there. So yeah, I'm here now and just enjoying life.
Well, thank God. Thank God you're back because, I mean, I think that I want to go back a little bit because it wasn't that you just made this decision all of a sudden out of nowhere and nothing. I mean, this has been, we've been talking about this for years. This is something that you have dreamt about, not necessarily Spain, but traveling the world because you are a world-class videographer. And one of your absolute passions and dreams in the world has always been, you've always said to me, Asa, I want to travel the world and make beautiful videos and share them with the world. That's what you've said to me. And I'm like, okay, but if anybody's going to do it, I know it's going to be you. So, um, like little by little, I think that, all these things kind of started to happen around you and in you that all of a sudden you saw a window of opportunity and the time became now. And you were like ready to go. Like you were, when it became to that point, you're like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done and
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready now. And
Yeah.
you were ready. And you all of a sudden you've got this beautiful van that you're actually right now you are in Sweden. You are about half an hour away from where I am, and it's a converted van that is your home on wheels.
Yeah, it's so amazing. Like I don't have like everything I own is now in this car and it's just
Oh
so
God, I love
freeing.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
I just got back here to my father's farm. I'm parked on his farm and I just went through a little bit of the stuff that I have left that I have in a storage on his farm. I asked my ex to just take whatever he wanted and just leave the rest at my father's place. So I've gone through some things now, and there is like I haven't missed anything of the
mm,
stuff that I had here. And
mm.
now I like everything I use is in my car. And if it's not if I'm not using it, it's gonna go away. I need
Yeah.
to get rid of it because it can't take space here.
Mm.
So it's just amazing. So yeah.
Talk about what a difference of frame of mind. And I have to ask you because I mean, I am all for doing more with less, having less things to kind of like weigh us down, and the difference in our bodies and in our psyche of what we feel when we really have what we need. That's it. How do you feel? Like, I mean, you were living a typical Swedish lifestyle before. You had all this room around you. You could have anything. What is it like for you today to have what, like you said, this is everything I own? How does that feel?
It's amazing. It's freeing and it makes you so like grateful for the small
Mm,
things. Like you took so much for granted before,
mm,
and now I just like if I sorry, but if I sneak into a camping, like what I've done that, shush. But yeah, I sneaked into some campings and like taking a hot shower and like those kind of things, like
mm,
not peeing in a little jar, going to a normal bathroom and just like having this normal stuff.
mm,
That is like I mean, I enjoy those moments so much more because I like my normal life is to pee in a small little jar and I have a plastic bag for number two and I have a little a little pump shower that is cold and if it's bad weather, it's freaking cold to take a shower. So you maybe
mm.
don't take a shower in a few days
Yeah.
because it's too cold to shower outside and because also the sun is heating it up. I
Oh,
can heat
yeah.
it up in my like gas stove thing.
Mm,
But it takes a long time. So I mean, I put it out in the sun, so it's not super warm.
mm,
Just like the normal stuff to take a hot shower and stuff
yeah.
like that is just yeah, the feeling is just amazing because you appreciate the small things in life. Just sitting with your
Mm,
van friends and people that you have become close to and just sit and watching the sunset and the sunrise each day and
mm,
just enjoying and being present in the moment. It's
mm,
so much more worth and I feel that I live my life more than before because I had so much stress and so much anxiety about things and I was constantly hearing all the impressions of other people, how you should
mm,
live and you should do this and da 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 da. So I mean, it's just freeing. I
mm.
can't describe it more.
When I think about when I see your videos that you put out, or you put your stories, or you share your life, which we'll talk about your new video that you just put out in a minute, but you share, you know, other people. I'm like, well, who are all these other people and all these vans that are around you? I mean, everybody that has a van, do you all know where you go? I mean, do you all like kind of hang out together and people just stay as long as they want and then they all just leave and maybe you meet up
Yeah.
again sometime in your lifetime and maybe
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
Yeah, some people that you really vibe with, you stay maybe if we have like the similar travel path, you be like, "Oh, but I also want to join there," or it sounds cool. Can I join? And then you join there for a few days or maybe the like for instance, the last girl I've been traveling with Emma, we were hanging out for maybe 3 months.
Mm,
And sometimes she's like, okay, I want to explore this thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm not interested in that. So I will do this. And then we meet up in a few days and so on. But you always meet people and then you like going with them a few days and so on. Most of the people I've noticed that is doing this van life, they have some sort of background, like why they broke up with their old life and like why they are
mm,
doing this and like some sort of like trauma, so to say.
mm,
Um, but we are all a little bit introverted. We like our space. We like the freedom. But yeah, some people are super introverted. They just want to be alone up in the mountains for months, and then they
yeah.
can have like a social interaction for a few hours, and then they are drained.
Mm,
And some are like a little bit more socialized, but you
mm,
can still choose like, okay, do I want to be up in the mountain and be like all by myself, or do I want to be around other people? So
mhm.
wide range, wide mix of people.
Well, I
Mm.
think that it's for my sake. I mean, I think I could probably live in a van for a weekend. That's probably the extent because I need space around me because I feel like I'm getting closed in.
Yeah.
But thankfully we're all different.
Yeah.
But you said something that you posted something about you were taking a walk in the forest. So of course I'm like, oh, she's in the forest. I gotta look. You were here in Sweden when you had come to Sweden now, and you had said that you noticed what a difference there was in the mentality of
Mhm.
people, which maybe you didn't notice it before because you were a part of it. You were here every day. It was your normal. Now that it's not your daily normal, share what you have experienced since coming back. Just like, I mean, you've been back like a week and a half or something, right? So what
Yeah.
what have you seen now that's different for you?
Yeah, what I shared was that when I arrived here to my hometown, I just felt a heavy energy.
Mm.
People, sorry, but people had become fat. Like when I left a year ago, they did not look like that. And they were just
Did you say
heavy.
they become fat?
Yes.
Oh,
They have like gain a lot of weight. You
okay.
can tell that they don't take care of of
Mm,
themselves. I was just like hearing all the worries and all the like they were like complaining about me, like how, but why is this fun? No, why do you go to Spain? There is nothing in Spain, and why do you they were like complaining on my life.
mm,
And then they were complaining about like the society and how they had their life. And when I asked them, how are you? It was like, oh, well, yeah. Like this, the energy, and it's not
mm,
like, it's amazing, this is happening or not. It's just heavy.
mm,
Um, and I've been like in this little bubble for over a year. I don't look at the news. I don't look at
mhm,
anything. I don't scroll on social media. And when I do, I only get up like positive things because the algorithm knows that I only want to see like uh law of attraction things and the feminine and masculine energy. So that is all what my feed is. So I don't see any like bad things in my feed. So I mean,
mm,
I've been in this bubble, and then I come here, and everything is so heavy, and I'm like,
mm.
wow, I'm so happy to be away from this energy, because yeah, I can't really be around people
No.
like
Mm.
that anymore.
Well, you don't
And
have to.
no, and everyone who is like living this lifestyle, we all are very often, not everyone, of course, but a lot of people are spiritual and they work on themselves to like heal traumas and stuff. So we
Mm,
are all very connected in that sense, uh,
mm,
with the same values and so on. So yeah,
mm. You know, what a time in your life. I mean, who knows what the future is gonna hold? I mean, we have no idea, but, I
yeah,
think that you also said to me that you feel more. You allow yourself to feel more actually, feel your feelings.
mm,
And, before, maybe you can talk about what the difference for you has looked like.
yeah. So what I've noticed is like I was so much in my masculine energy before, and I was just pushing, 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 and I was so
Mm,
programmed to build a career, build this and build all this stuff. So I really forgot about like
mm,
checking in with my emotions, and like I wasn't listening to my intuition. I
mm,
didn't listen to
mm,
things because I was so much up in my head,
mhm,
and oh, I have to do this or I have to do that. So I was so disconnected. And when my intuition and my gut feeling were telling me this is wrong, I didn't listen. And then I need to eat the consequences of that. So yeah, I've had hours of like crying in my car, doing meditations, doing the work to really, okay, now I have a shitty day,
mm,
because yeah, you always have that. Something comes up that reminds you of something. You just feel drained. Then I just cry in my car. I journaling and just sit with the feelings and like telling yourself it's okay to feel feelings. We all
mm,
have them. Don't push them away. If you feel anger, if you feel sadness, grief, sit with them because it tells you something. And I was so scared, I think, of sitting with them before, because that is nothing we get taught in society, because you
mm,
should always sit with your phone or like constantly occupy yourself with stuff or things to do and so
mm,
on.
mm,
So, yeah, it's a big
mm,
shift, and just connecting with your feelings, I would say.
mm, mm. I just got chills. Which shows me that, I mean, obviously what you're talking about is your truth. And, I think it is the truth for many of us, this addiction to staying busy and the addiction of productivity, and somehow that is attached to our value.
Yeah.
And, well, if I do this, if I produce this, then I am worthy of your love or your money or the return, the exchange, whatever. And, that's all a lie. It's all a lie. And it's a something we'll just, that's the rat race mentality. And you have changed so much. I mean, energetically, I feel you have changed, and that you don't even talk about money anymore. Like, I've talked to you now several times since you've been back, and just like talking about you coming and doing this video together and stuff like that. And before, there was a big consumption in my perception of your mental space around economy, and always feeling like there wasn't enough. that I've got to keep working. I have to, the production, right? All of it. And you are an amazing worker, and how fast you work. You are fascinating to me. I have one other person in my life that I can liken that to, but you are an amazing worker. And so it's so nice to see you also enjoying your life, your body, your mental health. I mean, to be at the ocean and see your cat run down to the ocean as soon as, she gets out and she wants to go down to the water, which I think is so nice that she's allowed to run free, and that
Yeah.
everybody kind of like watches out for each other. You all have each other's backs, and
Yeah.
who doesn't need a community like that? I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, this past year, as you are a videographer, you have spent time creating and saving and getting pro uh, a program together, I wanna say, if you wanna call it that. Why don't you
Actually.
ta Yeah, why don't you talk about that? Because it's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that have always been my dream, as I told you. Like, I really want to be like when I started with media, I started in, high school with media because I had a dream that I wanted to be a TV reporter for a travel show in Sweden called S3e13. And that was like, I was binge watching them all the time. I was like, I love them. And yeah, so that was my dream. And I worked hard to get into a media high school and stuff like that. And then life got in the way. So now being able to put together the travel show I always wanted to be the host of, and like formatting it and creating it as I want to, what I feel is interesting and important. I mean, I feel so much joy in that. And even though I don't earn any money on it or something like that now, my my aim is of course to do that in the future. I will just share my passion for the cultures and what I'm learning
Mm,
and so on. So my travel show, my goal is to just share different cultures, share different stories, share how to become free. Like
mhm,
I'm on the journey to become money, time, and location free. So I
mm,
don't need to, be stuck at anything and be in the rat race. And I've been working on that for a long time. Uh, so my show is just a reflection of me and what I
mm,
like to watch, and I would really want to develop it now into. Uh, I want to produce, the professional one. It's not like I'm vlogging. I'm of course having the pieces of my life with my own words and so on, and my values. And now I struggle with this or something. But I mean, it's not that I want to vlog. I just like put those kind of things in, but it's more information. And
mhm,
in the future, I'm gonna have more interviews with people,
mm,
sharing the stories about different cultures.
mm,
I have so many stories that I really want
mm,
to share. Like groups in like Indonesia, in South America, and just like all over the world that I really fascinates about.
mm,
Um, so yeah, it's gonna be a lovely show and really sharing different stories about how people view life, because I think that is important to get understanding
mm,
between each other, because in today's world we are so separated. It's like us against them, and we are
mm.
so polarized, it's called,
Yes,
right? When
yes,
we are
yes.
so separated. And I think with peace also comes, like, to have peace we need to have understanding, and
Mm,
when you get understanding you can love other, or just have respect,
yes.
and feel like okay, they doing their thing. And I really just love to explore different cultures and explore what I've been believing all my life.
Mhm.
Like, okay, what is the propaganda saying to me about this kind of culture? Like for
Mm,
instance, if I take an example, I'm a little bit off topic, but just for me, I've been, together with a Belarusian guy for a long time. And before that, I had this mental picture of the Russians being bad. And that was what I've been fed from the news here. And we always hear that the Russian people are so bad. But then I got together with this guy, and I saw a completely different point of view of things,
mm,
and a different view that I'm so grateful for that I have had, because it taught me a lot. And when we get that, that is what I want to show in my show, that yeah, with understanding comes love, and just peace, I would say.
Well, that's also a part of my three core values is peace, freedom, and community. And when we were talking, you're like, "Yeah, I understand that." I mean, that's really also a part of what you're doing. And that is, it was like a beautiful alignment, I think, with just to the thought of what it is that you have chosen to do in your life and how you have chosen to follow and create. Like you had a plan, you had a vision, you had a dream, and you created a way to actually make it happen versus sitting and complaining about it the rest of your life that you never got the chance to do this, the deathbed regrets, right? You're definitely not that person. And then you knew that you had a dream of doing this videography and doing these travel videos and doing a travel show and being in front of the camera and sharing your heart and your passions, and you're like, "You know what? I'm just going to create it myself." I love that. I love it when somebody does something like that. And meeting other people, because also traveling is absolutely top of my and Thomas's life goals, is to travel as much as we possibly can and share our hearts all over the world and do our passion work everywhere. And this with understanding other cultures. And I love what you said, that to truly put yourself in a position to kind of unlearn what you've always had in your head as thinking this is how other people are. Like, I mean, how would we know how anybody else is? We have no clue. Why don't we open up the table here, or open up this a conversation, and have conversations and find out who you are? Like, ask instead of assuming. And I love that you're doing that and meeting people and having fun and sharing you're sharing yourself, and it's so beautiful to watch you bloom. And I mean, I know that you're just gonna be getting, closer and closer and closer to everything that you want because you're creating it for you. And yesterday you came here and you helped Thomas and I do a drone video in the forest, which was, you're like this. You're like, "What do you need? Do this, do that, do this." We did it. Bam, we got it done. And you're like, send it out. And it's like, it's so nice to work with a professional who knows what they're doing. It just makes you feel really lucky to have these experiences, because I wouldn't have met you if we hadn't have been in this town. And everything happens for a reason. Everybody comes into your life for a reason. And now for you, for your next journey, I mean, you're going to be here for a couple of months, and people here in Sweden can maybe get to see you or get to work with you. But what is your next goal for yourself to get even closer to the Tittius, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, right? Because you're just getting brighter and brighter, my girl.
Yeah. So I have a dream. I want to go to Latin America, and I
Mm.
want to go to this retreat. I don't remember what the name is. But they have an ayahuasca retreat.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I really want to do ayahuasca and
Okay.
see what I can find out.
Hmm.
I've been always very like reserved about those kind of things, but I'm getting more and more understanding and I'm not scared about it anymore.
Mm.
So therefore I'm like, yeah, I really would love to see, because a lot of like spiritual teachers talks about how good as a medicine it is. So I
Mm.
really would love to do that and
Mhm.
see what I can explore about myself. I will continue living in my van and like sitting with my emotions and like doing the work that I found very important and
Yeah.
like, just continue that and
Good.
sharing my videos and creating my show. I have got some really interesting collaborations that I'm looking forward to
Good.
continue with. I got a manager that is gonna help me to get more like deals with my show and stuff like that.
Good.
So that's interesting. But yeah, I think most of it is the ayahuasca. I really want to go to Latin America, and I also want to go around and dance there because I want to work on my feminine energy a lot.
Mm.
And I feel that exploring my dance and developing that is a very key part for me to really tap into my feminine energy and like
Mm.
becoming stepping out from my head and going more into my heart, because when
Yeah.
I dance, like everything just flows away and I'm in like heaven, and I feel like a woman. I feel so free, and yeah, it's just amazing. um so yeah, go to more dance and just have fun to play, and yeah, just have fun
Mm.
with my life and exploring.
Makes me so happy. I love hearing you dropping from your head to your heart. It is I think, one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves
Yeah.
is to check in with our bodies instead of the brain all the time, which
Mm.
when we are so head driven, then now you've got your dancing and you've got your cat that's coming along with you. I mean, she's amazing. What a partner in crime she is. My God. I wish she wasn't out hunting in the forest right now, but so everybody could see her, but or those who are on YouTube. But I want to mention that your show is on YouTube. And
Yeah.
so that's where people can go look at your beautiful, the one that you just created for your past year in Spain.
Yeah.
I watched it. I loved it. I thought it was
Good.
so interesting. I love learning. I love learning new things about different places and people. And so, I mean, it's like, why can't I go support my friend on her YouTube channel and
Oh,
share it with
yeah.
my market, share it with my people, because most of my people love to travel too. And that's how you get to grow, and maybe how you can continue on doing your passion work in the world.
Yeah.
We
Thank
are
you.
the lucky ones, my friend.
Oh,
Um, helt spontant, helt totally spontaneous. Do you have anything that you have as a tip, or any kind of an idea for anybody that might be struggling right now, especially with too much social media? Being on social media too much. Do you have any tips or tricks that you have just kind of started to wean yourself off of it, that has worked for you? I think it's a really super important topic.
yeah, I have a limit on my apps on my phone, for
Mhm.
instance. So
Okay.
I, first of all, I don't have so much apps. I delete my apps. So I make it hard for me to go into social media. So I don't have the easy things on my phone. But I
Mhm.
also have limits on the apps that I have. So you can, like on iPhone at least, I can like put down how much time on each day I can spend on different apps. So that I have. Also unfollowing people that don't bring you joy.
I love that
I
one.
Yeah, just unfollowing and don't engage in content that you don't want to fill your life with.
Mm,
Those are the two most important, I would say. Like, can you have accounts that inspire you instead of making you feel bad and make you feel less worthy? Can you
mm,
follow those instead? When you are on social media, can you do that instead of just comparing yourself?
mm,
And yeah, set your timer on the social media apps.
mm. That comparisonitis is real. That
Oh yeah,
is, God,
I get stuck
that's
there too.
yeah, that's a soul drain right there, which is so
Uh,
unfortunate, because, if we remember that we all have our gifts, and that looking at somebody else's gifts and trying to copy their gifts are no longer your gifts, right? Those aren't your gifts. They're their gifts, not your gift.
yeah,
So when we remember who we are, who we come to the table as, and share from that place and space, and that's taken me years to get to say that. So trust me, I'm not preaching to anybody. I have been looking at far too many people for far too long, and
mm,
now I realize, like, no, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Follow people that you admire, or that seem really nice and positive and proactive and making a change in the world, and not part of the problem, right? I mean,
mm,
there's enough people that are the dregs, like dragging everybody down, because misery loves company. But you know what? So does joy. And I'd rather spend my time with people who are looking for joy
yeah.
than for sadness. Hmm. Yeah.
100%.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time today. I know you're busy taking your Spanish lessons and
No, I'm not busy. I can't tell. I can't say that. I take my Spanish lesson. I have fun sitting in the sun, meeting people.
yeah.
So yeah, that is how I want it. I'm so tired of people like, oh, we can meet in 2 months for 14 minutes. The 13th of I don't know, June. Do you have time? I was like, bye
I don't
bye.
know.
I'm like, you don't have time for your life. Okay, I don't have time for you either. So that is how I want it. I want to be able to be spontaneous. If I want to go to like drive 5 hours to go on a dance party that I did like a few months ago, I go to a dance festival, I want to be able to do that. And that is something I really want to add. Like when I had like a really meltdown, I was sitting with my feelings and journal. And then I was like, okay, what can I do for myself to go out from this? What can I do for myself that I love and enjoy? And I love to dance. So the next day after my grieving and stuff, I was like, okay, I need to dance. So I booked a private lesson with a teacher in Malaga. So I drove to her the day after. I took a dance class, and then I went in online and like, okay, I need to dance. And I found a festival like 2 days after that was starting in Toledo, and I was in Malaga. I was like, okay, I will drive 5 hours to go to a festival because this girl needs to have fun because this was hard. I just went through a shitstorm with my
Mhm.
emotions. Now I need to have fun. I need to take care of myself.
Yes.
I did that. So
Yes. And you
what
are.
can you give yourself after your meltdowns? Like what brings you joy? I just want to send that with you because yeah, and then I continued to drive and like film, and I was so happy, and I was just like creating a lot of content, and I got so much inspiration from
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Because I was so stuck before. I didn't really create a lot of content.
Mm.
And then I was just pushing myself to do this and like, okay, I give this as a reward for myself. And then I started to create content because I haven't created anything for like 10 months. And then I went on this and then I started creating again because I was
Mm.
so like was working through my emotions so much and
Mm.
didn't want to create. I didn't have any inspiration. So yeah,
No.
I just want to say that.
You created your own inspiration by setting yourself free. I mean, but you're still going through it, right? You worked through it so that you could get to the other side versus numbing out or hiding from it. And, that's, I have to add, I mean, Therese, this is not how you were just a year and a half ago. You have grown into this person, this woman, to be able to say, I don't wanna live by a calendar. I don't want to live by somebody else's rules or how you tell me I'm supposed to do this. And
Yeah.
that is why, my girl, you are on More Moss to the People today.
Thank you.
Ouch. Yes. Yes, yes. I hope that we can have you back, and we will, of course, share your YouTube channel here in the show notes. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you showing the way to people that need to know that it's okay to make different choices. As a matter of fact, it is incumbent upon us to make different choices, choices that make us feel alive and
Yes, thank
fill
you.
our hearts. Yeah. Yes. So thank you for today. Thank you. Thank you. And all the best on your travels. And we can't wait to see more of what you got going on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Take care. Bye bye.